Alexander Ashworth, a wealthy yet lonely millionaire, designed a test born out of mistrust. Betrayed by friends, employees, and even his ex-wife, he had lost faith in honesty. His mansion, filled with opulence but empty of peace, became the stage for his experiment. He deliberately left his safe wide open, stuffed with cash, gold, and diamonds, and turned off the cameras. Hidden behind an archway, he waited for his housemaid, Camilla, to enter. It wasn't anger that filled him, but curiosity mixed with bitterness. He wanted to see if genuine integrity still existed. The silence of the marble halls, the ticking clock, and the glittering chandelier all stood witness to his silent judgment. In his heart, it wasn't just Camilla he was testing, it was humanity itself. Camilla, a 32-year-old widow with 2 daughters and a sick mother, worked tirelessly at the Ashworth estate. Life had been cruel to her, yet she carried herself with quiet grace. She never complained or sought sympathy. She was invisible to most but indispensable to the household. Alexander saw something unusual in her humility. It unsettled him. Despite her hardships, her integrity never wavered. The pain in her eyes was matched by the dignity in her silence. Every morning she tied her hair, slipped into her uniform, and began her day before dawn. She represented a kind of moral strength Alexander had forgotten existed. In a world obsessed with wealth, Camilla's simplicity was an unspoken challenge to everything he believed. At precisely 8:42 a.m., Camilla entered the study. The open safe caught her eye, sunlight reflecting off its steel door. She froze, the duster in her hand still. Her breath grew shallow as she looked around, no one in sight. The bundles of cash seemed to whisper her name, a solution to her endless struggles. Yet she did not reach for them. Instead, she walked closer, took her rag, and gently cleaned the edge of the safe. Her actions were slow, deliberate, and full of restraint. She treated the treasure with the same professionalism she gave to every corner of the mansion. Alexander, watching from the shadows, felt a tightening in his chest. In her calm discipline, he saw something purer than wealth, integrity untouched by greed. Camilla reached into her pocket and pulled out a small, worn photograph. It showed her 2 daughters smiling beside their ailing grandmother in a hospital bed. She placed the picture next to the money, whispered something inaudible, then kissed it before tucking it away again. Her gesture was one of love and faith, a reminder of why she stayed honest despite her hardships. Alexander's eyes welled up as he realized the truth. She wasn't fighting temptation, she was honoring her family's dignity. In that quiet act, he saw more humanity than he had known in years. Camilla closed the safe gently, unaware that her small, silent prayer had shattered the millionaire's cold walls. The next morning, Camilla found a letter on the kitchen counter, written in Alexander's neat handwriting. Inside, his words trembled with emotion. Integrity is priceless. But so is peace. You've given me both. Alongside the note was a blank, signed check. For a moment, Camilla couldn't breathe. She sat down, holding the letter to her chest, tears spilling silently. The burden she had carried for years, medical bills, school fees, and fear, suddenly lifted. Alexander hadn't rewarded her honesty, he had honored it. Her choice to do good in secret had changed not just her fate but his belief in goodness itself. That weekend, Alexander visited Camilla's modest home, not as her employer, but as her friend. He brought legal papers to help her buy a house and offered her a new job with better pay and flexibility. As he sat at her wooden table, playing with her daughters, he smiled for the first time in years. The walls he had built around himself began to crumble. For both of them, that day was more than charity, it was healing. Alexander rediscovered faith in people, and Camilla regained stability for her family. Their story became proof that sometimes the truest wealth isn't in safes or gold, but in trust, compassion, and integrity when no one is watching.